The alien Armada was doomed until humans came to help. Asterisk Lieutenant Ray Carter leaned back in her seat, chewing the end of a cold protein bar. The control room of ECH-09 was quiet. Too quiet. Most of her team was asleep in the lower deck. It was just her, a blinking console, and the endless dark beyond the glass. She stared out into the stars, waiting for her shift to end. Then the alarm blinked, one soft beep. Ray sat up fast. The screen in front of her showed a pulse, not one she'd seen before. Not from any friendly ship or known alien race. It was old, weak, but repeating. A signal. She tapped the console. Unknown frequency, the screen said. Ray frowned. This part of space was marked no contact zone, a dead area. Earth had closed it years ago after some classified experiment went wrong. No ships were supposed to be here. No signals either. But here it was, flashing again. She ran a few scans. It was faint, coming from inside the dead zone. Pattern. Wasn't human, but something about it looked like a distress call. A broken one. She saw loops, numbers, maybe even coordinates hidden in the signal. And something else. A countdown. Ray's stomach tightened. She opened the comms. Control. This is Lieutenant Carter on ECH-09. I've received a signal from... The dead zone control answered coldly. Disregard. No action permitted in that sector. Hold position. Ray clenched her jaw. But it could be a call for help. Repeat. Hold position. Do not approach. That zone is restricted under Project Catalyst regulations. The line went dead. Ray stared at the console. She knew what Project Catalyst meant. A black project. Shut down. Dangerous. Off limits. But the signal blinked again, faint and desperate. She leaned in, playing the audio. At first it was just static. Then under the hiss she heard it barely a whisper. Help us. It wasn't human. The voice was different. Strange vowels, a strange tone, but it was clear. A plea. Cry, help us. She stared at the screen. No one else would come. No one else even knew, and Earth didn't want them to. Ray stood up. Her heart pounded. She walked fast to the lower deck and shook the shoulder of her pilot. Malik, he groaned. What is it? I was dreaming of coffee. Forget the coffee. I need you in the cockpit. We have a job. Orders from command? No.
Ray
looked him dead in the eye. Orders from me. Malik rubbed his face. You know this could get us court-martialed, right? She nodded. Yeah, but someone's out there. Dying. He stared at her, then gave a slow sigh. You're lucky. I hate quiet jobs. They climbed back to the controls. Ray typed in the coordinates she pulled from the signal. The ship's engines hummed as they turned toward the forbidden zone. As they entered the dead sector, the stars seemed colder. The light faded quicker. Ray's fingers hovered above the controls, heart pounding. She wasn't sure if this was a rescue mission or a mistake she'd never return from. A few hours passed in silence, then they saw it. A massive structure in the dark, floating broken, dead, and covered in strange markings. No lights, no movement. Around it, a scattered graveyard of ships, alien shapes twisted and hollow. Dozens of them, different sizes. Lifeless. Malik whispered, What is this? Ray scanned the area. They're not from any known species, at least 20 vessels. All powered down. But their tech looks advanced. She found one signal still alive, barely, coming from the largest ship in the center. Set a course, she said. As they approached, the screen flickered. One ship still had a faint energy core, but their engines, gone, fried, dead. Ray clicked the mic. This is Lieutenant Ray Carter of the human ship, ECH-09. If anyone can hear me, respond. We received your signal. There was no answer. Shh, she tried again. Static, then soft, crackling audio. Carter. Echo, please. Help. It was alien. Weak, struggling to speak human words. But it was real. Malik turned to her. Hey. There. Alive? Ray nodded. Barely. The signal began to fade. But before it died, the voice said one last thing, something Ray didn't expect. Human beacon. Tricked us. Danger. Your people. The line cut. Ray's blood went cold. She didn't know what kind of trap this was. She didn't know what kind of enemies were behind it. But one thing was clear. Someone had used human tech to bait this fleet. And someone wanted it all to be forgotten. Ray leaned forward and whispered, "Not on my watch." As the ECH-09 prepared to dock with the dead fleet, she had no idea just how big the secret really was. But she was about to find out. And nothing would ever be the same again. Asterisk, the docking clamps clicked. The lights on Ray's ship flickered once, then returned. Outside, the broken alien ship looked like a drifting beast, huge, silent, and half-dead. Its hull was marked with glowing lines that pulsed softly like veins under skin. Inside ECH-09, Ray suited up. Malik checked her helmet. Oxygen seal is good. Suit comes online. Keep the engines ready, Ray told him. If anything feels wrong, get out. Don't wait for me. He gave her a nod, though his face showed worry. You're walking into a tomb, Ray. I know, she said. But someone's still breathing in there. The airlock opened, and the metal bridge extended from ECH-09 to the alien ship. Ray moved carefully, her boots magnetized to the floor. As she crossed over, her flashlight cut through the dim haze inside the alien vessel. The walls were smooth and curved, like they were grown, not built. Some parts flickered with blue energy, others sparked and smoked. The hallway stretched forward, like the belly of a sleeping creature. She passed twisted pipes, fallen panels, and signs of blast damage like something had torn through the ship. Then she saw it. A door, half open. Something behind it was moving. Ray raised her arm. "This is Lieutenant Carter. I'm here to help," she said slowly, clearly. Her voice echoed. A reply came, soft, garbled, human. The door slid open with a tired hiss. Inside, 3 figures lay on the floor, too weak to stand. Their skin was pale with a faint glow. One lifted its head. Large black eyes blinked slowly, tried to speak but coughed instead. Ray stepped forward and lowered her weapon. "It's okay. I won't hurt you." The alien pointed toward a control panel nearby. Ray moved to it and tapped gently. The screen flickered symbols everywhere. Language was strange, but one symbol repeated. She guessed it meant help. She pulled out a universal patch from her belt, pressed it against the alien's arm. "This will deliver some fluids. Should help you breathe easier." The alien let it happen without a fight. It looked at Ray and whispered, "Veil." "Veil," Ray repeated. The alien pointed to himself. "Commander." "Veil." Fleet Ray's eyes widened. She had read about the Varelians, a peaceful species known for science and exploration.
How?
They had never made contact with humans, until now.
Your fleet?
Ray said slowly. "What happened?" Veil closed his eyes for a moment, then reached toward the control panel again. With shaky fingers, he tapped a few keys. A new screen appeared, showing a field of ships entering a dark region of space. Then, flashes. Chaos. Every ship's engine failing one by one. Another screen showed a single signal blinking, then spreading. Ray's heart sank. The signal came from a beacon, human-made, clear as day. "Project Catalyst," she muttered. Veil looked at her. "Human beacon. Told us. Safe path." Ray stared at the screen. It wasn't safe. It was a trap. Veil's eyes darkened. "Who did this? I don't know," Ray said honestly. "But I'm going to find out." One of the other aliens stirred, coughing hard. Ray knelt beside her. She was young barely. An adult. The third figure didn't move at all. "They're dying," Ray whispered. She tapped her Comes Malik. "Get the medkit. We've got 3 survivors, 1 unconscious. I need help fast." "Copy," Malik said. "On my way." Minutes later, Malik entered with supplies, stared at the aliens, stunned for a moment, then got to work with Ray. Together, injected stabilizers, wrapped wounds, and set up portable oxygen. The young female alien blinked up at Ray. You came. Yeah, Ray said softly. We did. Suddenly the ship jolted. Ray stood up fast. What was that? Malik checked his scanner. Power surge. No, wait. Something else. Ray looked at Vale. Is anyone else alive? Vale weakly shook his head. This only ship. Others no power. Then where's that signal coming from? Malik asked. Ray moved to the control panel. A new signal had appeared. Same pattern, same tone, but coming from a different place now near the edge of the dead fleet, another beacon, Ray said. Someone doesn't want these ships found. Vale struggled to sit up. Enemy, still watching. That one word made Ray freeze. Watching, she turned to Malik. Get the survivors too. One, we're not alone out here. Malik looked out the window. Far in the distance, a faint shimmer moved behind one of the dead ships. It's almost like a shadow. Ray, he whispered. Something just went dark out there. She nodded slowly. Whatever this is, it's bigger than we thought, and someone was trying to bury the truth. But Ray Carter wasn't done digging. Back on ECH-09, Ray moved quickly. She sealed the airlock as Malik carried the weak Varelian survivors into the medical bay. The ship's lights flickered as the strange beacon signal pulsed again, louder this time, echoing through the system. Like a warning bell, Malik laid Vale down on a cot. He's stable, but the other two need rest. We bought them time. Not much, Ray nodded. Let's not waste it. She sat at her console, pulling up the signal logs. The new beacon was sending the same repeating code, the same one that had trapped the Varelians. She checked its source. Her screen zoomed in on a tiny dot in space. Not a ship, not an asteroid. It was small and square. Artificial. Ray's eyes narrowed. It's another beacon, just like the one that lured Vale's fleet. But why? Turn it back on now? Malik asked. It was silent before. Someone doesn't want them rescued. Ray didn't answer. Her fingers tapped quickly. She checked the origin data. The beacon was an alien. It was human, made by the Unified Space Command. Her command, Malik read over her shoulder. This is from Outpost Blackstar. That outpost was decommissioned 3 years ago, Ray muttered. Looks active to me. She zoomed in closer. The beacon was floating near what used to be the Outposter research base, orbiting a dead moon. Earth had called it a scientific failure and shut it down quietly. No answers were ever given. Now a piece of it was back online, sending out fake distress paths. Vale's fleet had trusted that path. It had led them to their doom. Malik looked at Ray. What kind of research were they doing? I don't know. Files were locked even from my level. You think someone used that place to test something? Ray didn't speak, but she felt it in her gut. Someone had tested a weapon or a signal and used the Varelians as targets. And now that Ray had stumbled onto it, the system was waking. Up again, trying to clean the mess. She stood. We need to get closer to that beacon. Find out who's behind it. Malik frowned. We should call Earth Command. They'll tell us to stand down. They might send help. They already know. Ray's voice was sharp now. That signal is from our beacon, Malik. Not alien. Not random. Someone back home did this. Malik was quiet. Then he asked, You still want to go, Ray? Looked toward the stars, jaw tight. Yes. I need to know why. The Varelians weren't enemies. They were explorers, just like us. Someone decided they didn't matter. She turned back to her console. I won't let that stand, Malik sighed. All right, I'll prep the nav system. They plotted a course toward the old Blackstar coordinates. As ECH-09 moved through the dark, Ray sat beside the medbay. Watching Vale, the alien's chest rose and fell slowly. His skin glowed faintly under the soft lights. The young female Varelian sat nearby, eyes wide and alert. She hadn't spoken much. Only one word over and over again, traitor. Ray crouched down beside her. What's your name? The alien touched her chest. Syrah. Nice to meet you, Syrah. I'm Ray. Syrah's hand trembled as she pointed toward the window. Beacon. I know, Ray said. We're going to fix it. Syrah looked at her carefully. Why? 'Cause it's the right thing to do. Sierra didn't understand the words, not fully, but she nodded. Ray smiled just a little. An hour later, ECH-09 reached the edge of the old outpost's orbit. The station was still there, black and broken. It floated like a corpse over the moon. Parts of it were gone, ripped off by some violent force. Other parts still glowed faintly, and beneath it, the beacon blinked, sending out its deadly signal. Malek's voice came through the comms, getting odd readings. Radiation levels are low, but the station's power core is still active. That shouldn't be possible. Narrowed her eyes. Someone reactivated it. They did it after we answered the first call. She scanned for life signs. Nothing. Then one blip. Just for a second. Then gone. Did you see that? She asked. Malek nodded. Yeah. Could be a glitch. Someone's watching us. The beacon pulsed again. Faster now. As Ray leaned forward, her screen flashed red. Second signal had just gone out from the station. This time, it wasn't a distress call. It was a warning. It wasn't sent to Earth. It was sent to somewhere. Much farther. And something just answered. Ray stared at the screen. Her heart thudded as she watched the strange new signal. It came from somewhere deep beyond known space. She couldn't read the full location. It was hidden under layers of code. But one thing was clear. It wasn't human. Whoever or whatever received the warning had just responded. Malek spoke from the pilot's seat, voice low. I don't like this. Something out there just woke up. Ray didn't move, and we're the reason. She zoomed in on the beacon. The blinking had stopped. Now it glowed solid red, silent alarm. No sound, no words, just a bright, pulsing light in the dark. She tapped a key. The signal log showed. A sharp data spike. Someone activated this beacon manually. From inside the Black Star station, we need to board it, Ray said. Malek looked at her like she was crazy. That place is dead. No, it's not. Someone's still in there, maybe watching us. And if they're not friendly, Ray took a breath. Then we find out the hard way. She geared up again, this time with a heavier suit and more tools. She added a wrist laser cutter and backup oxygen. As she walked to the airlock, Vale's voice stopped her. Danger. In there, he rasped. His voice was still weak, but clearer than before. I know, Ray said, but I need answers. Vale looked at her eyes heavy with warning. They used us. Watched us. Ray nodded slowly. I think they used everyone. She stepped into the shuttle and launched toward the station. The docking was rough. The bay doors were barely working. When she stepped inside, it was dark and cold. Dust floated in the air like ash. Old signs still hung on the walls. Property of United Research Command. She saw broken screens, shattered glass, rusted tools, and an overturned chair with blood stains dried into the floor. She moved forward slowly, flashlight sweeping the hall. Down one corridor, she saw power flickers. The emergency lights just enough to guide her forward. The deeper she went, the more she felt it. Something had gone wrong here, very wrong. At last she reached the main control room. It was locked. She placed the laser cutter on the frame and burned through. The door groaned, then opened. Inside, a single figure sat in the chair. A human. He turned slowly, like he already knew she was there. Ray's breath caught. Dr. Elric Cade, she whispered. She had seen his name once, buried deep in reports. One of the lead scientists behind Project Catalyst, reported dead after Black Star shut down. But he wasn't dead. He was here, still alive. Cade smiled. Didn't expect you so soon? What is this? Ray asked. Why are you here? Did you do to those ships? He stood, moving slowly, almost like his body had grown stiff from sitting for too long. I didn't destroy them, he said calmly. They walked into the storm. We simply observed. You set a trap, Ray said. No, we set a test. It's to see how alien tech handled the anomaly fields. He stepped closer. And now we have results. Ray's voice shook. You watched them die. They're not human, Cade said. You think the galaxy cares about us? When they come, they won't offer help. They'll take. Earth must be ready. Ray gritted her teeth. So you kill explorers? Strangers who never even raised a weapon? Was necessary, he said coldly. Ray raised her arm. You're under arrest. Kate didn't flinch. You're too late. Her cum buzzed in her ear. Ray, Malik said. Something big just entered the system. Ship in known class. Massive energy signature. It's heading this way. Ray backed away, eyes locked on Cade. What did you call? It's insurance, he said. Suddenly the station shook. Ray grabbed the nearest rail. The floor rumbled under her. Feet. Lights sparked, she turned and ran. Back through the halls, back to the dock. Her shuttle launched fast, burning through the black toward Echo-9 behind her. The station lit up. The beacon turned blue, now calling out to something powerful, something terrible. On the ship, Malik pulled her in. What happened? He shouted. We found the traitor, Ray said. But he's not working alone. Outside, stars bent from the edge of space. A giant shape entered normal view, dark, sharp, like a blade in the void. The Varelian girl, Sira, looked out the window and whispered a single word. Drawzak. Vale opened his eyes wide. They were extinct, he said. Or so we thought. Ray stared at the screen. Not anymore. And now, they were coming. The Drawzak ship floated in silence, like a black knife against the stars. It didn't glow. It didn't hum. It just hovered, cold, quiet, and watching. Inside, ECH-09, alarm screamed. Shields up, Ray shouted. Malik's fingers flew across. The controls. Shields active. Weapons minimal. We're not a warship. We don't need to fight, Ray said. We just need to survive. On the screen, the Drawzak ship began to shift. Large panels opened along its sides. Strange symbols glowed red across its body. They're scanning us, Malik said. Sira, the young Varelian, backed away from the window. Her skin pulsed with dim color. If they fire, we die. Ray turned to her. You've seen them before? Sira nodded. Our ancestors fought them, long ago. They feed on energy, on ships, on mines. Vale sat up in the medbay, still looked weak, but his voice was steady. They were thought destroyed. But if Blackstar called them there, back, Ray finished. And they think we're still testing. Malik pointed to the screen. Incoming transmission. Put it through. There was no voice, no words, just a deep hum. Low and slow. Then a single image appeared, the broken Varelian fleet. Then Earth, then fire. Message clear. A warning, a threat. Ray swallowed hard. They know about us. They know about Earth. Malik turned to her. What do we do now? Ray looked at Vale. Can your ship still move? Barely, but not far. No jump capability. We'll protect you. Vale's eyes narrowed. You would risk your life. For us. Ray nodded. You didn't ask to be pulled into this. Neither did we. But now we're both targets. We stand together, or we fall apart. Sira looked between them. Together, she said. The ship shuddered. Drawzak's ship just moved closer, Malik said. He's still not firing, but they're locking on. We need to distract them, Ray said. She ran to the engineering panel. We've got drones, right? To maintenance spots, Malik answered. Load them with decoy signals. Make it look like we're fleeing in one direction while we sneak away in another. Malik grinned. Classic misdirection. I like it. While Malik programmed the drones, Ray sent a quick data burst to Earth Command. She kept the message simple. Blackstar is alive. Drawzak have returned. Request backup. Send help fast. She didn't know if anyone would answer. She didn't care. They had to move. Drones ready, Malik said. Launch them. The bots flew out, blinking with false engine lights and broadcasting false ship signals. They moved in opposite directions. The Drawzak ship paused. Then it followed one hook, line, and sinker, Malik said. Ray didn't wait. Take us the other way now, the engines roared. ECH-09 pulled away from the danger zone, carrying the wounded Varelians and the truth of what had happened, but they weren't safe yet. Another signal, Malik said. Human ID, coming in fast. Ray leaned over the screen. A large human cruiser appeared on radar. Name USC Iron Hand. Her eyes widened. That's my old ship. Malik's mouth dropped open. Command sent help already? No, Ray whispered. They sent him. The screen flashed. An incoming call, she answered. A stern face appeared Captain Juno Grant. Her former mentor, now a man known for keeping secrets and following orders without question. Lieutenant Carter Grant said coldly, "You've caused quite a mess." "Found survivors," she said, "and the Drawzack. You need to warn Earth. You disobeyed direct orders. You crossed into forbidden space. And you've exposed Black Star's purpose." "I exposed a lie," she shot back. "And I won't let you bury it." Grant's face didn't move. "You're ordered to surrender. Hand over the Varelians. Wipe your logs. Return to base." "No." "Don't be foolish, Ray. This isn't about you anymore." "You're right," she said. "It's about all of us. And I won't help cover up a crime." Grant sighed. "Very well." The call ended. Malik swore. "They're locking weapons." Ray stared at the screen. Behind her, the Varelian ship powered up. "We fight?" Vale asked. Ray smiled. "No. We show them what real humans do when pushed." She sent one final message to Earth, then armed the defenses. The human ship and the alien. Ship faced off in silence, somewhere deep in the black. The Drawzack waited, and humanity's next move would decide everything. Asterisk, the silence didn't last long. USC Iron Hand moved closer. Its front cannons powered up, glowing blue at the tips. Ray stared at the screen, heart racing. She knew Captain Grant. He wouldn't bluff. If he fired, Echo -9 would be destroyed in seconds. "We don't have the firepower to win," Malik said quietly. Ray didn't blink. "We don't need firepower. We need brains." She turned to Vale. "Can your ship still cloak?" Vale's head tilted. "Cloak is weak, but..." "Why?" "Good, you'll be our ghost." She grabbed a datapad and began drawing a plan with her finger. "We'll distract Iron Hand, just long enough for you to get away. Once clear, send a message to your people. Tell them the Drawzack are back, and tell them who called them." Vale studied her. "You risk everything. For us," Ray met his eyes. "You're not the enemy. That makes you worth fighting for." He nodded once. "Then we will not waste your gift." While Malik worked on the engines, Ray moved to the cargo bay. She opened a small locker and pulled out something old, a stealth drone, one of Earth's earliest spy models. It was small, rusty, but still worked. She smiled. Time to play dirty. The plan was simple: make Iron Hand believe Ray was running straight toward the Drawzack. The captain would have to choose attack them and risk exposure, or let them go and lose control. "Decoys ready," Malik said. And Vale's ship just disappeared from sensors. "Cloak is holding." "Good," Ray said. "Now it's our turn." She powered the engines to max and aimed at ECH-09 toward the far side of the system, toward the last known Drawzack location. Immediately, Iron Hand gave chase. "They're locking weapons," Malik warned. "Let them," Ray said. "Just keep us moving." She released the stealth drone through the back bay. It drifted off, invisible to normal sensors. Carrying a full copy of all ECH-09's logs, Black Star's signal, the beacon code, the Drawzack return, and Cade's confession. She set the drone on a direct path to Earth. "Even if we don't make it," she said softly, "the truth will." The ship shook. A warning shot skimmed their shields. "Grant's not kidding," Malik said. Ray turned on the external comms. Her voice was calm but firm. "Captain Grant, this is Lieutenant Carter. If you fire again, you're not stopping. A traitor, you're murdering the only witnesses to a war you helped start." There was no reply. Then the comms lit up. His voice came through, tight, angry. "You don't understand what you've done." "I understand perfectly," Ray replied. "You chose fear. I choose something else." Suddenly, the stars shifted. The Drawzack ship reappeared, massive, looming, silent. It had moved again, and now was between Eka 9 and Iron Hand. "What's it doing?" Malik whispered. The Drazak ship opened slowly, like a flower blooming in space. Strange shapes floated from it, dark, spiny drones. Hundreds of them. "They think we're fighting," Ray said. "They're here too. Finish whoever survives." On Iron Hand, the cannons stopped glowing. For a moment, nothing moved. Then the Drazak drones fired. Both human ships were targets. Lasers lit the black. Ray grabbed the controls. "Get us out of here." Malik spun the ship hard, dodging blasts that skimmed the hull. Sparks flew across the cabin. Shields dropped to 50%. "Iron Hand's under attack," Malik shouted. On the screen, Ray saw Egrant's ship, surrounded by Drazak machines, struggling to hold them back. She hesitated, then opened the comms again. "Captain Grant, this is Ray. We can help you, but you have to let us." Silence. More shots hit Iron Hand. Then his voice came through. "What do you have in mind?" Ray smiled. "Let's remind. The galaxy, what humans do best, dapped." She pulled up the drone control system and began hacking the signal. If the Drazak used energy links to guide their drones, maybe she could disrupt them. She rerouted her ship's shield frequencies. To emit false commands, simple ones: return, sleep, power off. One by one, the drones flickered. Malik boosted the signal. He cranked the power. Dozens of drones froze mid-flight, then spun and retreated. "It's working." Ray kept sending more commands, fast and random. The Drazak ship pulsed angrily. But more drones were falling away. Iron Hand pushed forward, blasting through the last wave. Together, both human ships turned toward the Drazak. Ray whispered, "Now they see us for what we are: strong, smart, and never backing down." The Drazak blinked out of view. Gone. For now. Malik slumped back. "We're alive." Ray nodded, then turned to the comms. "Whale, did you make it?" Static, then his voice. "We are safe. And we sent your message." "Thank you, Ray Carter." Of Earth, Ray smiled. It wasn't over. But for the first time, they had hope. 2 days had passed since the Drazak vanished. Space was quiet again, but it wasn't the same. Silence felt different, heavier. Like a warning waiting in the dark. Ray sat alone in the command seat of ECH-09. Her hand rested on the controls. But she wasn't flying. The ship floated gently near a small moon, safe for now. Malik was asleep in the back, exhausted. The Varelians were still resting, slowly healing. The message drone had reached Earth. That part worked. Now, she waited. A soft beep echoed through the ship. Incoming transmission. Ray tapped the screen. It was Earth Command. An older woman with silver hair appeared. Admiral Lane, head of Unified Space Security. Her face was tired, but focused. "Lieutenant Carter," she said, "we received your drone. We've reviewed the logs." Ray sat straighter, and there's no easy way to say this. "You were right." Ray didn't reply. "We didn't know the full truth about Blackstar," the Admiral continued. "That beacon wasn't meant to be active. It was supposed to be destroyed after the catalyst tests failed. Someone turned it back on," Ray said, and the Drazak responded. "He believed Dr. Cade acted alone, or at least without official orders. He's missing now, but we've sent recovery teams to search the station." Ray crossed her arms. "What about Captain Grant?" "Elch." Admiral gave a faint smile. "He filed a full report. Says you saved both your ship and his. Recommended a medal for you." Ray blinked. "That was unexpected." "And the Varelians?" she asked. The Admiral nodded. "Their message reached their homeworld. They've invited us for peace talks, formal alliance discussion." "So we're not going to cover it up?" "No," the Admiral said. "Not this time. We lit a fire we can't put out, and maybe that's a good thing." Ray felt something lift in her chest, a pressure she hadn't even noticed. Now gone. "What now?" she asked quietly. "We're sending a fleet to meet with the Varelians. We want you there. Command has approved a temporary ambassador role. You'll be our bridge." Ray raised her eyebrows. "Me? I'm a scout pilot. You're the reason this didn't turn into war," Admiral Lane said. "We need that kind of thinking now more than ever. Screen went black. Ray sat there, stunned. Then she smiled just a little. She stood and walked to the med bay. Vel sat up when she entered. His skin glowed a soft silver, stronger now. Sira stood beside him, smiling shyly. I just spoke with my people, Vale said. They want to meet with your leaders. Are coming, Ray said. So is Earth. Vale nodded. You changed everything. No, Ray said. We did it together. Later that day, both ships powered up. The Varelian craft moved slowly beside Echo -9, still weak but flying. Malik returned to the cockpit, stretching. So we're diplomats now? Looks like it, Ray said. I thought we'd get court-martialed. Yeah, me too. They both laughed. The nav system beeped. Destination set. Varelian homeworld. Ray placed her hand on the jump lever. Ready? Malik grinned. Always. She looked out at the stars. Once they seemed cold, empty. Now they were full of stories. Of danger and of friendship. She pulled the lever. The stars stretched into lines. The ship vanished into light. When ECH-09 reappeared near Varelia Prime, the view took Ray's breath away. The planet below was blue and green with swirling silver clouds. Dozens of Varelian ships hovered in orbit, strong, elegant, watching. Then something else appeared. A small Earth fleet. New ships, flying side by side with alien vessels. Working together, they were already waiting. As the ship approached, the comms lit up. A calm voice spoke. Welcome home, Ray Carter. You are expected. Sira looked at her. You belong with us now. Ray smiled. No, I belong where I can make a difference. The docking bay opened. Ray stood at the door, wearing her patched-up uniform. Behind her, Malik, Vale, and Sira stood ready. She stepped forward, a human and an alien, side by side. Once strangers, all allies. Across space, stories would be told of. The day a forgotten signal was answered, not by armies, but by one stubborn human who refused to look away. That was how it started. Not with war, but with a choice, and that choice changed everything.